Welcome everyone to Jimmy John's Field on this gorgeous Friday evening.
Beautiful.
It was, again like yesterday, Dan, was supposed to be a rainy day, but it cleared up and it's mostly cloudy here, 84 degrees, a little on the warm side, but not too bad overall.
No, not at all. Yeah.
So Brian Fisher and Dan Dolber with you here, and we are going to call this game for you today between the Unicorns and the Mammoths. And the Mammoths coming off a loss last night as their season continues to struggle. I'm sorry, they did not play last night. I'm thinking of I'm already a couple days behind.
It was the Beavers and
My
the
mind's
Hoppers,
going
Brian.
crazy here, man. I'm telling you. And starting for the Mammoths is going to be Sean Kennedy. And Sean Kennedy, Dan, is not having a great season so far.
No, he isn't.
He is 0 for 3 with a 6.35 ERA across 22 innings pitched, with 24 hits, 11 strikeouts, and 7 walks. His whip's not that bad at 135, but he's given up a lot of hits. He's just having trouble keeping men off base.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to have a tough battle against this Utica Unicorns
Yeah, the
lineup.
league leading Utica Unicorns.
Yeah, and you know what? He's going up against another great pitcher, which is Donnie Murray.
Yeah, Donnie Murray is just absolutely destroying it so far this year, isn't he, Dan?
Yes, he is.
He is 3-0, the opposite of what Sean Kennedy is. His ERA is 2.40 across 30 innings pitched. He's given up 22 hits, 8 walks, and 34 strikeouts with a whip of exactly 1. Dan, he is just absolutely destroying.
Yes, he is.
And
I mean,
against a Mammoth team that is, they're doing all right this season. It's their inaugural season. I mean, you don't know what to expect coming into their first season. They're doing okay. It's going to be an interesting game, to say the least.
and guess what? It was Meet the Unicorns before the game as well.
It was on Friday Night Fireworks night.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the fans, anyone who came today, got to meet the Unicorns, which is exciting for them. And it's about time for the Westside Woolly Mammoths lineups, so we'll send it down to the field for that. And when we come back, we'll talk about our possible players of the game.
The visiting team tonight, the Westside Woolly Mammoths, managed by Shane McCaddy. The starting lineups for today's game are sponsored by the AAA of Michigan. Leading off and batting first from Vienna, Virginia, the third baseman, number 9, Kent Blackstone. Batting second from DeWitt, Michigan, the second baseman, number 8, Ian Yelsko. Batting third from Tipton, Georgia, the right fielder, number 21, Alex Abbott. Batting fourth from Goffstown, New Hampshire, the first baseman, number 3, Riley Ulmer. Batting fifth from Hamilton, Ohio, the shortstop, number 2, Jeff Smith. Batting sixth from Maitland, Florida, the catcher, number 20, Kyle Hamner. Batting seventh from Chattanooga, Tennessee, tonight's designated hitter, number 10, Hagen Wilkie. Batting eighth from El Segundo, California, the left fielder, number 6, R.J. Fuhrer. Batting ninth from Chicago, Illinois, the center fielder, number 7, Joe Farrell. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Westside Woolly Mammoths from Slidell, Louisiana, number 16, Sean Kennedy. Okay, fans, are there any Utica Unicorn fans in the house here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to meet your unicorns. First, the manager, coaches, and reserve. The manager, Jim Essien. Coach, Cedric Landrum. Number 1, Brandon White. Number 2, Quinton Alexander. Number 7, Sam Burton. Number 12, Steven Simmons. Number 13, Seth McWilliams. Number 14, Alex Biancher. Number 17, Thomas Hansen. Number 24, Nico Lolio. Number 25, now it's time for the starting lineups for the Utica Unicorns. And joining the Unicorns on the field today are the Sterling Heights Softball and Baseball League buddies from Sterling Heights. Leading off and batting first from Carlsbad, California, the shortstop, number 15, Brett the Stash Vulcan, with Lindsay Lewis and Holly Lewis. Batting second from Bayshore, New York, the right fielder, number 4, Chris Cruz, with Ella Hyatt and Matthew Kinnaird. Batting third from Dallas, Texas, the center fielder, number 10, Brandon Raw, with Justin Meldrum and Dylan Hall. Batting fourth from Fraser, Michigan, the first baseman, number 19, Taylor Galikowski, with Madison McCool and Brady Workham. Batting fifth from Streamwood, Illinois, third baseman, number 22, Brandon Larkin Guilfoyle, with Brandon Cummings and Jonathan Cummings. Batting sixth from Grayson, Georgia, tonight's designated hitter, number 44, Clay Argeezer, with Kyla Cummings and Keneal Chambers. Batting seventh from Denville, New Jersey, the left fielder, number 20, Mike Rampone, with Evan Parent. Batting eighth from Phoenix, Arizona, the second baseman, number 9, Luke Doyle, with Rachel Raymer. Batting ninth from Cheshire, Connecticut, number 6, the catcher, Timothy Mudd, with McKenna Bach and Layla Calhoun. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Utica Unicorns, from Boston, Massachusetts, number 21, Donnie Murray, with Jasmine Wooten. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your caps on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by Selah Essien.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
What a spectacular job.
Welcome back, everyone. Mammoths versus Unicorns here on this cloudy Friday evening. And Dan, would you like to go through the starting lineups for
Yes, I would like to, Brian.
the Westside Woolly Mammoths?
Well, I'll go through the Unicorns batting lineup first. Batting first, and
Mammoths.
Yeah,
bat first.
Mammoths. That's what I meant. So, leading off for the Mammoths and batting first is Kent Blackstone. He's at third today. Batting second, and at second is Ian Yetzko. Batting third, and in right is Alex Abbott. Batting fourth, and at first is Riley Palmer. Batting fifth, and at short is Jeff Smith. Batting sixth, and behind the plate is Kyle Hamner. Batting seventh, and at DH today is Hagen Wilkie. Batting eighth, and then left is R.J. Fuhr. And batting ninth and playing center is Jabba Farrell. And defensively for the Unicorns, at third you have Brandon Guilfoyle. At short you have Brendan Belkin. At second is Luke Doyle. At first is Terry Gudakowski. And left is Mike Rampone. In center is Brandon Raw. And in right is Chris Cruz. Doing the catching behind the plate is Timothy Budd. And on the mound is Donnie Murray.
Speaking of Donnie Murray, Dan, I had picked him for my player of the game today. Last time out when they faced the Mammoths back on the 10th, he went 7 innings pitched with just 5 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, and 3 walks.
I mean, that was a
it's
strong
hard not to
performance,
pick
yeah.
him. Who are your pick?
I'm going to go with Brandon Raw. You know, he's trying to get on. You know, he's been getting on, actually. He's has 17 hits so far this season, has 3 homers, 11 RBIs, and has a batting average of 283. So I'm picking him.
That's a good pick. I think that's a real good chance. And our writer, Steve, he picked Jeff Smith for his player of the game. Interesting decision.
Didn't he beat us last night?
Out of the 3 of us, yeah, he had the best
Yeah.
choice. So he picked John Mankin, who had a 2-run home run. So he killed it last
Yeah,
night.
he
So
did.
I don't underestimate Steve. He's a pretty smart fellow when it comes to picking players. So maybe he's got some dirt on Jeff Smith that we don't know about. But we're just a few moments away from first pitch here at Jimmy John's Field as Donnie Murray throws his last couple warm-up throws.
Something sounds fishy here.
What's
That
on?
he knows maybe something that we don't.
Oh, yeah. So now Kent Blackstone will step in.
It's a beautiful evening here at Jimmy John's Field. And, you know, of course, after the ball game, Friday night fireworks.
Yeah, Friday night fireworks every Friday night. And it's quite a spectacle, in my opinion, every single night. Every single Friday we do them. They do a really good job.
Yes, they do.
Kent Blackstone standing in, batting lefty to start. That pitch is going to be grounded over to the second baseman Doyle. Throw over to Galikowski at first, and it'll be 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the first inning.
Donnie Murray does like to make quick work as well.
Yes, he does, Dan. He strikes out a lot of guys, but he's really good at getting contact or getting these hitters to hit in contact plays, just ground outs and fly outs a lot of the time. And interesting enough, Artizer's not playing first today. He's actually playing DH. Galikowski, who usually plays left field, is over there in right field because Mike Rampone is playing outfield today. As the first pitch to Yetzko is going to be in there as strike. Yeah, Galikowski's got first base, not right. I don't know why I said that. I was looking at him down there at first base, but I
Yeah.
still said right field for some reason.
I mean,
Artizer-
players, you see a lot of players, sorry to interrupt you.
No,
there,
you're
Brian,
fine.
But you see a lot of players decide to play different positions as well.
Well, they're very talented players, and they can play multiple positions. As the 0-1 pitch is in for a ball, 1-1.
Now, what were you going to say?
Ian Yetzko, last time these two teams faced off against each other back on the 10th, he went 1 for 3. He had a base hit. Other than that, he struck out and flew out. So let's see what he can do here. He batted in the 9 hole last time. He's in second, batting second today, as that one's in there for a strike, 1-2.
Maybe a change of scenery in the batting lineup can
Well, they like
do
to-
you better.
I'm sure they like to shake things up and see what these players are made of, see where they fall. We're only about a third of the way through the season here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to tip that one foul in between the legs of Bud. It's going to remain 1-2. Last time these two teams met ended up being a 4-1 victory in favor of the Unicorns. That came on the back of the starter today, Donnie Murray. He went 7 innings with only 1 earned run. And then Tom Constant and Sean Gustin came in and had shutdown innings of their own, both 1 inning pitched. Fantastic pitching performance from the Unicorns that day, as that one's going to hit Ian Yetzko, just barely grazed his shoulder, so he'll go down to first base. So now Alex Abbott, playing right field today, will come in for his first plate appearance of the ball game. He's down hitting into the 3 spot instead of the 2 spot like last week. Last week he went 1 for 3. He had a base hit and a sac fly RBI. Ian Yetzko down there with a good lead at first, getting really low in his stance. Alex Abbott swings and misses at the first pitch.
Alex Abbott is hitting .238, has 10 hits, 2 homers, and 7 RBIs. And watch Donnie Murray keep a close eye there on
Yetzko down there at
Yetzko,
first base.
yeah.
Yetzko, as a second baseman, has a lot of speed, and you got to keep a careful eye on him. He looks like he's ready to go whenever he gets the signal. Comes the 0-1 pitch. And he's going to drive that one to left field, and Rampone's going to back up and make the catch deep now, and Yetzko is going to return back to first. So 2 outs with a man on first here in the top of the first inning. Riley Palmer will step in now. He went 0 for 4 on the game against the Unicorns, or the Unicorns back on the 10th. Definitely looking to improve that. He's only batting .241 on the season, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Yetzko still down there at first base.
Does have 13 hits.
Comes the first pitch to him. He's going to drive that one into shallow left center. And Rampone's going to come over and make the catch. So after hitting a batter, Donnie Murray gets himself out of the inning, and we go to the bottom of the first, tied 0-0. We're due up for the Unicorns will be the leadoff man, Brett Balkin, the right fielder, Chris Cruz, and center fielder, Brandon Ross. We'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field as we get ready for the bottom of the first. Dan over here is going to go through the Utica Unicorns starting lineup.
Okay, batting first and playing short tonight is Brett Balkin. Batting second and in right is Chris Cruz. Batting third and in center is Brandon Raw. Batting fourth and at first is Terry Gredakowski. Batting fifth and at third is Brandon Guilfoyle. Batting sixth and at the DH position is Clay Artisier. Batting seventh and in left is Mike Rampone. Batting eighth and at second is Luke Doyle. And batting ninth and behind the plate is Timothy Budd. Defensively for the Woolly Mammoths, at third you have Kent Blackstone. Short is Jeff Smith. At second is Ian Yesko. At first is Roddy Palmer. In left is RJ Fuhr. In center is Jabba Farrell. In right is Alex Abbott. Doing the catching is Kyle Hamner. And on the mound is Sean Kennedy.
And Sean Kennedy out on the mound today looking for a good turnaround from his last time out.
Yes.
He hasn't really had a quality start yet, and now would be a good time to start as that ball is hit right to the short second baseman. Quick throw down to first, and just like his counterpart, Donnie Murray, one pitch, one out in the first inning.
Crazy how things happen, right?
Yeah, it hit to the same exact location, too, over the second baseman. So, yeah, Sean Kennedy's in dire need of a quality start here, and let's see if he can get one going. Turn things around for him this season.
And another surprise is not seeing Nico Lalio in the lineup for the Unicorns.
Yeah, I think that was the same thing last time these two teams played, too. Lolio wasn't in the lineup, or he was
Look what
back
happened
then.
when he pinched hit later in the ball game last time.
Yeah,
walk-off hit.
last time the Unicorns, they played the Hoppers. Lolio wasn't in the lineup, and he pinched hit in the ninth and hit that walk-off two-run home run. He was in that long Sunday morning game, or Sunday afternoon, as that one's drilled just foul on the first base line. So it's 1-1 now on Chris Cruz.
Maybe we'll see him later, Brian.
If they get into a position where they are down by a run late in the game, I'm sure they'll bring Lolio in.
Yeah.
Chris Cruz went 1 for 4 or 1 for 2 last time. 1 for 3. Gosh, get it right the third time. 1 for 3 the last time these two teams faced off. He had a walk, a double, and 2 strikeouts. He's 1 and 2 on him now, and to this early at bat.
It's the weekend, Brian.
A really good crowd out here yet again. Yesterday was a surprising turnout, but we had that Polish Heritage Night. We had a lot of people turn out for that, and that one's going to be grounded foul, so 1 and 2 still. And today, even more so, probably because it's getting into the weekend and more people are getting the time to come. Just a really great turnout today. And with kids coming out of school soon, then you're going to get a lot of young kids. That one is going to be called a strike, and he's going to strike Chris Cruz. They appealed down to first, and the ump confirmed it. So he went around. It's going to be a strikeout swinging for Sean Kennedy. And now Brandon Raw will step in, the center fielder, and Dan's pick for player of the game.
Yeah, last time these two teams faced, he only had an RBI and was only on base once, so.
First pitch he sees is in the dirt, 1-0. Yeah, like you said, he reached base on that fielder's choice, but it did result in that RBI, so it's kind of a weighing the good with the bad there. As he skies that one into right field, and Abbott's going to be underneath it, just shy of the warning track. And so a good start for Sean Kennedy, who's been struggling early in the season here. A 1-2-3 inning to start the first, and let's hope he can continue that trend through the rest of the game here. So we're going to the top of the second with 1 in the book. And leading off for the Mammoths in the top of the second inning will be the shortstop Jeff Smith. Following him, the catcher Kyle Hemner and the DH Hagen Wilkie. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the second inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dilber with you here. It's a 0-0 ball game. Neither team has a hit yet, but we've only played 1 inning. Jeff Smith will stand in. And Smith was our writer Steve's player of the game pick. And
he might win again tonight. You never know.
yeah, out of the three of us, he won last night. So let's see if he's got the inside scoop.
As soon as you know, we might have to owe him dinner or something.
Oh, well, good thing we didn't place any bets
I know,
on this.
that's good.
If he wins again tonight, I'm definitely never putting any bets on this. As that one's going to be in there for a ball. Jeff Smith on the season is batting .298. Very strong performances out of him so far this year. As that one is skied into foul territory right by first base. And Galikowski's is going to be underneath it and make the catch. So on 2 pitches, he flies out into foul territory, pops out.
Pitchers are doing great to start.
Yeah, they both, between the two of them, they both only had 17 pitches in the first inning. So that's great efficiency out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, only 1 strikeout, but they get in groundouts and flyouts when where they need to. They've been locating their pitches quite well, as both of them have only really gone to 2-ball counts. I don't think they've had a 3-ball count yet between the two of them. Comes the first pitch to Hammer. That's going to be way inside. 1-0. Comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's grounded over to the shortstop, Balkin. He'll make the throw down at first and get him. So 2 up, 2 down for Johnny Murray here in the second inning.
That baseball took a bounce to it.
Yeah, it took an odd bounce
Yeah,
for
an
sure.
odd
I think
bounce,
it might have. I'm not sure. It must have hit like maybe a bump in the dirt or something, because it was going straight at him and then it bounced all of a sudden to his left. So he had to reach his glove up to get it. But he made the play. Made it look easy too. And so now it's going to be up to Hagen Wilkie to get something going here in the top half of the second. He's only batting 154 on the season, though, so he's going to be looking to improve on that. Get himself above the Mendoza line. Swing and a miss from Wilkie, 0-1. He had himself a good outing last time, Dan. He went 1 for 2. He walked and came around to score and had a base hit. Did strike out swinging on the one time he didn't reach base, but let's hope he can continue on that trend and get himself above 200 as he swings and misses at that one, 0-2.
That was a big cut.
Yeah, 91-mile-an-hour fastball hitting the outside corner. A couple of fans come down in front of us with what looks like nachos, just fully loaded.
They look so good, Brian.
Yeah, I don't think you can get that much of a bang for your buck at any ballpark. Honestly, that looks delicious. That one's outside for a ball, 1-2.
Of course, you're teasing us because, you know, last night was Chick-fil-A and we had a craving for that.
I mean, I just eat food, man. I love
Anything,
Chick-fil-A, but
anything.
I ain't going to complain. And here comes the 1-2 pitch from Murray. That's going to be in there for a strike, and he's going to strike him out looking. And a 1-2-3 inning from Johnny Murray. And we've played an inning and a half here at Jimmy John's Field very quickly, too. We've only played that in 10 minutes.
Oh!
That was a quick inning and a half. So we go to the bottom of the second, where leading off for the Unicorns will be Taylor Galikowski, the first baseman today. Brandon Guilfoyle follows him, and Clay Artizer. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the second inning. 0-0 ball game between the Unicorns and the Mammoths. Both pitchers in just an inning and a half looking very impressive to start. Sean Kennedy had himself a 1-2-3 first inning. Let's see if he can keep that going here as he faces off against Taylor Gelikowski. First pitch to Gelikowski is going to be inside as he has to scoot out of the way of that one. 1-0.
Gradkowski hitting .326. Of course, he has those 4 home runs, and he has 14 hits and 9 RBIs.
As the 1-0 pitch is going to be in there for a strike, 1-1. And Gelikowski, one of the better hitters in the Unicorns lineup, hitting in the cleanup spot, deservedly so as well. He seems to get on base every single game they play, as the 1-1 pitch is going to be in there for a ball, 2-1.
I still remember his first appearance here in USPBL. It was a loud shot.
Oh, yes, it was. Him and, Nick Wilson was already known by the league, but he had come back, and both of them in their first games hit home runs out, as that one's going to be a ball, 3-1. Last time these two teams played, Dan Gelikowski went just 1 for 4. He did get on base, however, so with a base hit in the first inning, as he swings and misses at that one, so the count goes to full 3-2 on Gelikowski. Three-two pitch. He's going to ground that one up to the shortstop. A diving play. He stops it, but it gets away from him. So Gelikowski's going to get on with a single here in the second inning.
Here's our first hit of the ball game.
So Brandon Guilfoyle will step in now. His first appearance of the ball game here in the bottom half of the second inning. He's got a man out with no outs. The single from Gelikowski is the lone hit of the ball game for either team so far in this early goings. First pitch of Guilfoyle is going to be a strike, 0-1. Wind going from left field to right field today. Should help carry the ball on those righties. As that one's going to be grounded over to the third baseman. Going to throw to second. It's going to be off the bag, so both runners will be safe. As Blackstone's going to walk back to third base frustrated at his poor throw.
He rushed it, Brian.
So that'll go down as an error for Kent Blackstone. And so a base hit and a fielder's choice. We'll have the first 2 runners on in this half inning. So Clay Artizer will stand in. He's batting in the DH spot today instead of first base, his usual spot. First pitch to him is going to be in there for a strike, 0-1.
He's hitting .286. He has 16 hits, a homer, and 8 RBIs.
We saw him go 1 for 3 last time these two teams faced off. He had a base hit and came around to score and a walk, as that one's going to be grounded up to the second baseman, and they're going to get the double play on that one. So they couldn't turn the double play last time, but they turned it this time, and that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play hit into by Clay Artizer. So now Mike Rampone will step in with 2 outs and a man at third base after Taylor Gelikowski advanced on that double play. And he has a chance with 2 outs to give his team the lead here in the bottom of the second. Mike Rampone playing left field today. That's normally what Gelikowski plays, but we change it up every once in a while, give players different looks. Here comes the first pitch to him. He's going to sky that one behind home plate into the crowd. And it's going to be 0-1 now.
His walk-up song is the Lion King song.
You know, I've been meaning to ask him. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I've been meaning to ask him why that reason is. And Mike Rampone just betting 188 on the season so far.
Well, we're going to have to find that out, Brian.
As the second pitch to him is going to be a ball, 1-1. Yeah, I'm going to make that my mission the next few days. Try and track down, talk to some of these players, and figure out some of the walk-up songs, maybe some interesting facts about them.
I'll come along with you.
As that one's driven over the head of the shortstop Smith, and that's going to score Taylor Galikowski. So that'll be a RBI single for Mike Rampone. So Luke Doyle, the second baseman, will step in with a 1-0 lead here for the Unicorns in the bottom half of the second. He's got a runner at first now. The first pitch is grounded over to the first baseman, Palmer. Palmer's going to walk over and tag the base, and that's going to be it for the inning. But the Unicorns do strike first after the Mike Rampone RBI single. So going to be a 1-0 lead for the Unicorns going to the top of the third inning. Where due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths is going to be the left fielder R.J. Fuhrer. Following him, the center fielder Joba Farrell and the third baseman Kent Blackstone. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the third inning. It is a 1-0 lead for the Utica Unicorns after the Mike Rampone base hit, or RBI base hit in the bottom half of the last inning. So R.J. Fuhrer will step in now.
Of course, he's the son of Hockey Hall of Famer Grant Fuhrer.
Interesting thing about Grant Fuhrer, though, as a goaltender, he caught with his right hand, but he did most of his other activities with his left, including golfing. So, you know, there's a specific name for that kind of ambidextrosity. I don't know what the correct ambidextrousness. Is that the way you say it? So it's 0-1 now on R.J. Fuhrer.
Steve's helping you out here.
But I can't remember what it is. Yeah, Steve's my lifesaver sometimes, I tell you. As R.J. Fuhrer's going to take that pitch for a ball 1-1. He's batting just 80 on the season so far.
Yeah, he's got to get going here. Definitely.
He did not play the last time these two teams met. Comes the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be high for a ball, 2-1. Definitely an athletic family. One's a Hall of Fame goaltender, and the other one's a professional baseball player. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That one's in there for a ball, 3-1.
Family of sports.
Well, you see that. It's not the first time you've seen that
No.
either. I mean, a lot of professional players, like not just in families, but like players themselves, can play multiple sports. As the 3-1 pitch comes in, that'll be in there for a strike. Count is full now, 3-2. Like Russell Wilson, he extends the spring training for the Texas Rangers all the time. He was drafted by them, but
Yep.
you know, he chose football instead. You saw players like
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow, right now is in the Mets system. Good example, as that one's going to be grounded. The third baseman, Guilfoyle, is going to charge in and make the play. Good running play by him as he had to come into the infield grass to get that one. So it feels like if you're talented at a sport, you have the ability to be talented at many sports. Obviously, it takes lots of training to be able to play at a professional level at any of those. But it's like a lot of these athletes are so multi-talented. One of my best friends pretty much played every sport in high school. He's like a jack of all trades. I don't know how the kid did it, honestly. I don't know how he had any free time. So Jabba Farrell will step in. He'll swing on the first pitch he sees, and that'll be a base hit right up the middle. So Jabba Farrell's on with one out here in the top half of the third inning. That's the first hit given up by Donnie Murray today. So Kent Blackstone will be up for his second time today. He grounded over to the second baseman Doyle on the first pitch he saw. His first time up.
Blackstone hitting 158.
And throw it on a first, but Farrell's going to get back in time. Farrell, the center fielder, is a throw out on the base pads. You want to keep an eye on him, as he's not afraid to get a good leadoff from first base. He's not intimidated by pitchers very easily. And they're going to throw it on a first again. He's going to get back in safely. As Farrell reties his shoe down there at first base, or retucks his sock or something. It's hard to tell with Galikowski in the way.
I think it's his shoe.
He's ready now. Got
Tied
his
it back up.
big lead off again. Here comes the first pitch to Blackstone. Ooh, that'll get away from him. That's going to allow Farrell to advance all the way to second. Took the turn at second base, but he'll stay there. So a 1-0 pitch on Blackstone. Gets away from Timothy Budd behind the plate. Allow Farrell to advance in a scoring position. So now with one out, there will be a man in scoring position and an opportunity for the Mammoths to tie the ball game. They're going to throw back to second and try and get him, but he's wise enough to come back. He saw to the corner of his eye Brett Balkin breaking to the plate. So as soon as he saw that, he turned and dove back in. That 1-0 pitch to Blackstone's going to be inside for a ball 2-0. Johnny Murray into his first trouble of the ball game here. This doesn't happen often to him.
No.
As
He's
one of
been
the
very
most,
dominant.
Yeah, he's one of the most consistent pitchers in the league. 2-0 pitch is drilled to right field, and Cruz is going back to the track to the wall. He's not gonna make the catch, and that one's gonna be gone. A 2-run shot for Kent Blackstone.
Baby.
That's his first home run of the season, and that's gonna give his Westside Woolly Mammoths the 2-1 lead.
Did that one have some carry on it?
Yeah, when it first came off his bat, I wasn't entirely sure it was going to get out, and Cruz went back, but ended up just sneaking over the wall right in front of the hill. So Kent Blackstone with his first home run of the season is a 2-run shot to give his team the lead.
And those fans out there on the hill are treated to a baseball.
That's why those tickets on that hill are very valuable, because it seems like once or twice every other game you get a home run hit over there. You see a lot more home runs hit to the right field, especially because so many batters are right-handed and they like to hit. Ian Yetzko's going to step in. It's going to be a 1-0 pitch.
Donnie Murray wishes that he would have that pitch back and probably chose a different location.
1-0 pitch is going to be way outside, and Donnie Murray seems to be shaken up out there. A lot of his pitches are missing, and Bud's going to come out and try and calm him down.
Yeah, talk about Murray. He's been very dominant throughout the season, to start, that is. But already in this game, is behind.
Yeah, looked like this inning especially, he's been struggling with his command, which is odd because he was good through his first two. He did hit a batter, but other than that, he's been getting outs nonstop. Coming into this inning, he had 5 consecutive outs, and then he's just been struggling with his command here. Comes the 2-0 pitch. It's going to be high, 3-0, and there's a 3-0 count with 1 out here with nobody on after the 2-run blast from Kent Blackstone gave the Mammoths a 2-1 lead. Comes the 3-0. It's going to be high, and on 4 straight pitches, he walks Ian Yetzko.
Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Alex Abbott, the pride of Tipton, Georgia. As a youth, Rabbit Abbott idolized Josh Hamilton, as noted by his smooth left-handed swing.
Alex Abbott will step in now. He flew out to the left fielder, Mike Rampone. His last time up. It's going to be a conversation at home plate, and Jim Essian's going to come out and have a chat with Donnie Murray.
Obviously talking about his command.
Looking at his hand, and I'm wondering if maybe there's a blister or something on his hand.
Yeah, they're definitely looking at it. Hopefully he's okay.
They're going to call for a doctor to come out. So perhaps he burst a blister or something. Maybe they're going to put a Band-Aid over top of it to keep it from popping.
That is definitely stressful, especially for a pitcher.
That might explain why his control's been a little wacky this inning as well. Because normally Donnie Murray's not someone you have to worry about on the mound when it comes to control. Quick checkup from the trainer. The medical provider from Beaumont. Jim Essian is going to return to the dugout, and Donnie Murray's going to stay on the mound.
Yeah, if it's a blister, it's definitely very stressful, especially on the pitching hand, if it's on the hand that he's throwing with.
It looks to be, because they were looking at his right hand, and he's obviously a right-handed pitcher. It looks like they're coming out with a Band-Aid now, so he must have cut his hand, or they're going to try and prevent something from happening. The other possibility is maybe he cut his nail.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
It stings a lot.
So they're going to patch him up, and he'll retake the mound while Timothy Budd returns to home plate. Give him a couple warm-up pitches. See how he feels.
As the Woolly Mammoths have done damage here in the bottom of the third, or top of the third, that is.
Yeah, Donnie Murray was cruising through the first 2 innings, but now this inning he's given up 2 hits and a walk. One of those hits being a 2-run blast from Kent Blackstone, his first of the season. Hit that one over to the hill in right field. So now Alex Abbott will finally step in, having flown out to Rampona's last time up over there in left field. He's got a man at first base in Ian Yetzko. Comes the first pitch to Abbott. It's going to be high for a ball. 5th consecutive ball from Donnie Murray. Comes the 1-0 pitch. High and away. 2-0 now. We already have some action in the bullpen for the Utica Unicorns as Seth McWilliams is warming up.
The sidearm reliever.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one's outside. 3-0 now. And if Donnie Murray can't figure something out, how to pitch with that blister on his hand, he'll be pulled from this game quite early. They're probably hoping he at least gets through this inning. Here comes the 3-0. Swung on a miss. 3-1 now. Ian Yetsko down there with a decent lead, not too far off first. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one high in the air into foul territory. Got a lot on that one, but hit it foul. 3-2. Count is full now on Alex Abbott. One man on. 3-2 count with one out here in the top of the third inning.
It's a Josh theme plays in the background.
Here comes the 3-2. Who's going to foul tip that one and stay alive? That right field hill over there is absolutely just packed. As you can actually see the fan who got the home run ball is just tossing it up and down over the way out there.
Better hold on to that baseball.
Here comes the 3-2 again. Foul tip that one to stay alive again. And Yetsko took off, but decided to, or has to return back to first base because it was a foul tip. I think he thought it was a wild pitch or something. In case you're just tuning in, the Unicorns got out to a 1-0 lead in the bottom half of the second inning thanks to a RBI single from Mike Rampone, but the Mammoths hit a 2-run home run here in the top of the third from Kent Blackstone, his first of the season, to take a 2-1 lead. Comes the 3-2 pitch. He's going to drive that one to the gap in right field, and that's going to get down and bounce off the wall, and that's going to be extra bases for Alex Abbott. And coming around third base is Ian Yetsko. They're going to wave him home, and they're going to tag him out at home plate.
Wow.
So
What a throw.
Great job from Cruz and the cutoff man, Brett Balkin, to get Yetsko at home.
Beautiful throw to get him. And of course, Essien is going to come out and talk about it.
So Alex Abbott is on with a double, so he's still in scoring position for Riley Palmer. Drive him in and extend this lead still.
Actually, it's a pitching change.
With that blister, I'm not surprised. So, looks like I continue to jinx things as I picked Donnie Murray to be my player of the game, and now he's out after 2 2/3 innings.
What are you going to do, buddy?
I feel sometimes I'm cursed, but unfortunately, unfortunate outing for Donnie Murray, who's been nothing but dominant so far this season. He's out early with a blister, or what we assume is a blister. He goes 2 2/3 with 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So Seth McWilliams is in now. Last time these two teams faced off, he did not seem them out as they only went through 3 pitchers that day. Donnie Murray, Tom Constant, and Sean Gustin.
And McWilliams so far this season has 8 innings pitched, does have a loss, has given up 5 hits, has 9 strikeouts, has given up 3 earned runs, and his ERA is 3.20. 324, and whip is 168.
They're probably going to look for him, Dan, to go multiple innings here, as it's still really early in the ball game. Probably going to want at least 2 out of him before they have to go back to the bullpen. And hopefully he can stop the bleeding here in the top of the third and keep it a one-run ball game.
Better luck next time, Brian. I'm picking a player of the game. Still have tomorrow, though. And actually all season long.
So, like you said, Dan, Seth McWilliams with that 3.24 ERA, been very strong out of the bullpen. He's been one of the go-to guys for the Unicorns so far this season as well. So Riley Palmer will step in, and he's going to try and plate Alex Abbott from second base and extend this 2-1 lead to 3-1 for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. His first time up, he flew out into left center where Rampone made the play. First pitch he looks at, swung and missed, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch in there for a strike, 0-2 now.
Palmer's hitting 241. And he has 13 hits, 2 homers, and 8 RBIs.
He's also walked multiple times. He's got 8 walks, so he's very adept at showing patience at the plate when he needs to. 0-2 pitch is going to be way inside, 1-2 now. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He's going to strike him out the end of the inning, and he stops the bleeding. But the Mammoths do take a 2-1 lead off the back of the Kent Blackstone 2-run home run over to the right field. So going to the bottom half of the third inning, the Unicorns are going to look to retaliate and reclaim this lead. And leading off for them is going to be the second baseman, Luke Doyle. Following him will be the catcher, Timothy Budd, and the shortstop, Brett Balkin. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the third inning. We're leading off for the Utica Unicorns will be Luke Doyle.
Last time up, Luke Doyle grounded out to the first baseman, Palmer.
First pitch he looks at is a strike 0-1.
That was Timothy Budd, my bad. That's up the bat. Last time this is his first appearance.
Oh, correction. Yeah, you're right. That was my bad, actually. I said Luke Doyle was up. As that one's going to be over the head of the second baseman, Yetsko, and that'll be a base hit for Timothy Budd. Good way to start off the inning.
It's a Friday night, and me and you are both having a Monday night.
Well, that was all my bad. I led you off wrong, saying Luke Doyle was up. So it's going to be Brett Balkin up now. Brett Balkin doing fantastic work at the plate this season, batting .387. He's going to show bunt there and lay one down.
Beautiful.
And he's going to get on safely as Sean Kennedy overruns it.
Great bunt there by Balkin. Great place, too.
He did a good job. It would have been a tough play for Kennedy had he made the play over there. He for sure was going to move up the runner, which was his goal in the first place. Getting on himself was just a bonus of that. So now we have runners at first and second for the Unicorns with no outs here in the bottom half of the third inning. So Chris Cruz will step in now. Struck out swinging his first time up. It's going to be in there for a strike, 0-1. The one pitch is going to be drilled over the head of the Yetsko. And Tim Budd is going to be held at third base. So bases will be loaded with no outs here for the Unicorns in the bottom half of the third inning.
The stables are full of Unicorns.
I was wondering when you were going to finish saying. The stable are finished with what? So Brandon Raw is going to step in. Now he flew out to the right fielder, Alex Abbott, his last time up. He's got a chance to really do some damage here for the Unicorns and tie it or possibly regain the lead. He's got no outs, so he's got lots of room to work with. So the first pitch to him is going to be just outside for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch swung on and tipped foul, 1-1. Brandon Raw just barely getting a piece of that one.
And he's my player of the game. My pick, that is.
Yeah, I'm already disqualified because Donnie Murray only went 2 2/3 innings.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, seriously. Jeff Smith, Steve's pick, is grounded over to first base in his first at-bat. The 1-1 pitch is going to be in there for a ball, 2-1. So bases loaded with no outs. It's a 2-1 lead for the Mammoths. Unicorns have a chance here to do some damage. 2-1 pitch is grounded over through the 5.5 hole for a base hit, and that's going to bring one run in. And they're going to tie this ball game here, and the bases are going to remain loaded. So Tim Budd scores from third base on the Brandon Raw base hit RBI. And with still no outs, the game is tied with bases loaded for the Unicorns. Galakowski is going to step in. He hit for a base hit his last time up. Comes the first pitch to Galakowski. It's going to be high for a ball, 1-0, and Hamner's going to have a talk with Kennedy and try and calm him down. Unicorns doing a fantastic job of keeping the line moving, going one batter after another. All 4 of the guys who have reached today in this inning have reached through a base hit.
They're doing a great job of keeping the stables full.
Yeah, as Raw hit for just a base hit the last time in this last at bat, and it just squeaked through, so they could only get 1 run in. As the 1-0 pitch is in. Ooh, that's going to be in there for a strike. 1-1. The 1-0 pitch swung and drilled to left field, and Furr's going to go back, and it's going to be caught by Farrell just shy of the warning track, and they're going to try and tag and score Brett Balkin, and they do so successfully. So the Unicorns have reclaimed the lead here in the bottom of the third. So it's now a 3-2 lead for the Unicorns with 1 out and men at first and second. So sac fly RBI for Taylor Galikowski.
Hit it in the perfect spot to get that runner in.
Yeah, fairly deep over there in left center. So Brennan Guilfoyle will step in. He'll have an opportunity to extend the lead for his team here in the bottom half of the third inning with Chris Cruz out there at second base still. As that one's going to get away from Hamner, and that's going to allow the runners to advance. So now we have runners at second and third base with 1 out in the bottom half of the third for Guilfoyle. If you're just tuning in, the Unicorns got out to a 1-0 lead last inning in the second thanks to a Rampone RBI single. The Mammoths took the lead thanks to a Kent Blackstone 2-run home run. Shortly after that, Murray was pulled due to a lingering blister, as that one's going to miss high for a ball. 2-1. And just a moment ago, Taylor Galikowski hit for a sac fly to give his team the lead, making it 3-2. The 2-0 pitch. It's going to be low for a ball. 3-0 now on Guilfoyle. The 3-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. 3-1. 88-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. That one's going to be skied into foul territory. Hamner's going to go over and try to make the catch, but it's going to land in the stands. So 3-2 now. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at second and third with a 3-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns. The 3-2 pitch, that's going to be low. He's going to walk him, so the bases are going to be loaded yet again in this inning for the Unicorns, and it is a 3-2 lead, and they have yet again another opportunity to extend the lead. Sean Kennedy has lost any semblance of control here, and that's going to get Shane McCaddy to come out to the mound. The only out that Kennedy has gotten this inning has been a sac fly, so that ended up hurting him, actually. We have some arms stretching in the bullpen. No one throwing yet.
Obviously, this visit will give those who are stretching out there a little time. Get warmed up. Unicorns doing a great job here in this inning.
I think this inning is a perfect example why the Unicorns are having such a fantastic year. You know, they go out there and they lose the lead thanks to a home run. They're down, but they realize it's still early. A lot of game left to be played, and they don't give up. This team perseveres so well. It's just like they did the same thing. They had the walk-off home run against the Hoppers. They had that walk-off base hit from Artizer a couple weeks ago. I can't remember who that was against, but they persevere. They don't give up. They do a great job of coming back time and time again.
And speaking of Artiser, here's a perfect chance for him to get these runners in.
Yeah, he's performed well in the clutch before, so Artiser's going to, first pitch he sees, he's going to flare over there in the left field, and it's going to be caught by Fuhrer, and it's going to be Chris Cruz who's going to try the arm, and he's going to get in safely. So he's going to extend the lead on a sac fly RBI from Clay Artiser. So now it's 2 outs and a 4-2 lead for the Unicorns, thanks to the sac fly RBI from Clay Artiser. And Artiser coming in clutch again, driving in a run. So with runners at first and second and 2 outs, Mike Rampone has an opportunity to drive in another run. He's already got 1 RBI on the game. Rampone's going to call for time. There's currently an appeal to see if Chris Cruz left early from third base before the ball was caught. It's not going to do any good. So
Very weird there.
Mike Rampone will stand in, and the first pitch he sees is going to be a strike, 0-1 on him.
Sometimes you win battles, sometimes you lose battles.
Well, they lost that one. The 0-1 pitch swung and chipped foul. 0-2 now on Rampone. Runners at first and second with 2 outs, and 0-2 count on Rampone. He's got an opportunity to extend the lead even further for the Unicorns. Comes the 0-2 pitch. That was going to be in there, so he's going to strike out looking, and he knew it. He didn't even.
But what an inning for the Corns.
Yeah, the Unicorns get 3 back to take the lead, 4-2, thanks to an RBI single from Brandon Raw and 2 sac flies, 1 from Galikowski and 1 from Artiser. So it's a 4-2 lead going to the top of the 4th inning, where due up for the Mammoths is going to be the shortstop Jeff Smith, following him Kyle Hamner, the catcher, and the DH Hagen Wilkie. So we'll be back with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 4th inning. It's a 4-2 lead to the Utica Unicorns. They got 3 runs in the last half inning to take the lead. Leading off for the Mammoths here is going to be Jeff Smith. He popped up to the first baseman Galikowski his last time up, his first time up. Seth McWilliams will be facing him now as Donnie Merlin only went 2 2/3 innings thanks to a blister. First pitch he sees is going to be a ball.
Josh Smith hitting .298, has 14 hits, 8 RBIs.
Comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's going to be hit to the mound. McWilliams makes a small hop to get it and throw it on to first and gets him. So on 2 pitches, he's got 1 out here in the top half of the 4th inning. So Kyle Hamner will stand in now. He grounded out to the shortstop Balkin. His last time up. First pitch to Hamner is going to be way inside, a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, way outside. Goes from way inside to way outside, 2-0. Missing the strike zone on both sides today, apparently.
McWilliams has a unique sidearm.
Yeah, he stands very far to the right of the plate, or our left, his right, as that one's going to get through to the third baseman. He's going to make the throw down to first and get him. So 2 up, 2 down for Seth McWilliams here in the top half of the 4th inning. So Hagen Wilkie, the DH, will step in. He struck out looking his last time up. And yeah, Seth McWilliams stands on the far right side, his right, of the plate and throws that sidearm. So that ball's coming into these batters at a really odd angle.
Definitely can confuse a batter, that is.
Well,
times.
it seems to be working for him. And he has that about 3.50 ERA. Comes the first pitch to Wilkie. It's going to be in for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is in for a strike, 1-1. So 1-1 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. 4-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns.
And the lights are on here at the ballpark.
Yep, the lights just came on as that one's in there for a strike on the outside corner, and Hagen Wilkie does not agree with that call as he gives the umpire a side-eye glance.
It's a gorgeous evening here at Jimmy John's Field.
Yeah, it really turned out nice, didn't it, Dan?
Yes, it did.
2 days in a row where it threatened in the forecast to have storms as that one's popped into foul territory. It's going to get into a stance. It's going to be remaining 1 and 2. Yeah, 2 days in a row where it threatened a storm, and then by the time we got closer to game time, weather forecast said nothing.
Yeah, I'm fine if it rains in the morning. That's all good. It gets towards the afternoon, towards the evening. I hate it when it rains. But luckily, nothing's going on.
I'm a bit weird. I mean, obviously, I don't want my baseball to get rain delays, but I love thunderstorms. As the 1-2 pitch is going to be way outside. Count is even at 2 apiece now with 2 outs.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I used to be terrified. I mean, most kids are terrified of thunderstorms when they're younger, but at some point it kind of clicked where I'm like, this is actually kind of cool. My dad would actually go into the garage just to watch the lightning. I never got that far, though, as he's going to swing and miss at that one. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Seth McWilliams.
Done a great job coming out of the bullpen for Murray.
He comes out of the bullpen and gets the first 4 batters he faces out. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th inning, where it's going to be a 4-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns. Leading off for the Unicorns, and I got it right this time. Luke Doyle will be leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. And following him will be the catcher, Timothy Budd, and the shortstop, Brett Balkin. So we'll be back with more shortly. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It's 4-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns. Brian Fisher and Dan Delber with you here, where Luke Doyle is going to lead it off. Last time up, Luke Doyle grounded out to the first baseman, Palmer. Doyle, however, batting this season, .309. First pitch he looks at, he swings and misses. Take a big cut. There's actually a foul tip into the glove of Hamner.
Yeah, Doyle has 17 hits, a homer, and 5 RBIs.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch, as that one's going to be grounded over to the first baseman, who's going to take it himself. So
And the trend
history
keeps
repeats.
going.
Yeah, history repeats itself with Luke Doyle, as that's 2 times in a row. He's grounded out to Riley Palmer. Check swing on that one, but he's going to go. Strike 1 on Timothy Budd. So 0-1 count with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Be in there for a ball, 1-1. One pitch swung on and missed, and that's going to be a 1-2 count now on Bud. Last time up, Bud hit for a base hit and eventually came around to score. One-two pitch down low, 2-2. Count is even.
And he came around and scored because of Brandon Raw.
Yeah, the Brandon Raw base hit plated him and tied the ball game. As that's going to be a ball. Count is full at 3-2 with 1 out. Sean Kennedy has a very high leg kick. That one's going to be grounded over to the shortstop, Smith. He's going to lose it in his feet, though. That's going to allow Timothy Budd to reach safely at first. That's 2 errors already for the Utica Unicorns. First pitch to Balkin is going to be in there for a strike, 0-1. And Brett Balkin's definitely not someone you want to come to the plate if you can avoid it. He batting .387 into coming today, and him and his magical stash are powering the Unicorns, it seems, this season.
You want to grow a stash like that, Brian?
I'm not a stash guy,
You're a
honestly.
beard guy.
I'm more of a beard guy.
Yeah, I can
0-1
tell.
pitch is fouled into foul territory. It's going to land in the stands. So 0-2 now on him. Despite the fact that he's batting .387, he doesn't have a home run yet on the season. He only has 1 RBI. The 0-2 pitch is going to be way high. 1-2 now. Not much of a lead to speak of for Tim Budd over there at first base. That one's going to be skied foul. Remain 1-2. Budd as a catcher isn't much of a threat on the base paths. Doesn't have a whole lot of speed out there. Comes the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be swung and hit for a base hit over into right field. And that'll advance the runners. So first and second with 1 out here for the Unicorns in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And oftentimes we see, Dan, where errors and walks tend to come to hurt the pitcher in the end. And with Tim Budd in scoring position after he reached on an error, that could come true yet again as Chris Cruz steps in. He had a base hit his last time up.
Yeah, the Mammoths team has committed a lot of errors to start the season off. I remember most of their games.
So that one's in for a strike, 0-1. Runners at first and second with one out. 1-0-1 pitch is swung on and a pitch in the dirt. Don't know what Cruz was looking at that time.
Of course, he shakes his head.
Yeah, he's obviously visually frustrated. He's got a chance to extend the lead here, and I think he's thinking one step ahead here. He's going to drill that one into right field for a base hit, and they're going to hold the runner at third base.
And the stables are full of unicorns.
Yet again. And bases will be loaded for Brandon Raw with one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Brandon Raw had a base hit RBI last time he was up, and that was also in a bases loaded situation. You have Bud at third base with Brett Balkin at second and Chris Cruz at first. Each one of them, Tim Budd reaching on an error, and the next two reaching on base hits. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be down the line in left field, and a good sliding play by Furr is going to hold the runners as he slides and makes a great catch out there in left field.
Yes, he uses his infield skills for the outfield as well.
Yeah, apparently as Raw got a good contact on that one, really drilled it down there in left field, but unfortunately he hit it right into the path of RJ Fuhrer, who made a great sliding catch. So it's going to be Galikowski standing in with bases loaded and two outs. 0-1 on him now. One's going to be inside. Count is even at one apiece now. Galikowski has a base hit and a sac fly RBI in his first two plate appearances, so he's 1 for 1 today. He's got an opportunity again to plate home some more RBIs and extend this lead for the Unicorns. As the 1-1 pitch comes in, he's going to hit that one and ground it over to the second baseman. And the Unicorns threaten but can't score. They leave them loaded. And it's still going to be a 4-2 lead, though, for the Unicorns as we go to the top of the fifth inning. We're leading off for the Mammoths will be the left fielder RJ Fuhrer after he made that spectacular sliding catch. Following him is the center fielder Jabba Farrell and the third baseman Kent Blackstone, who hit that 2-run home run back in the second. So we'll be back shortly with more, and please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 5th inning, where RJ Fuhr is set to lead it off. His team's still trailing, though, however, 4-2. Last time up, Dan, he grounded over to the third baseman, Guilfoyle.
And he made a great diving stop this past bottom of the 4th inning.
As that one's going to be high and away, 1-0. Yeah, Fuhr made a great play over there in left field to rob a base hit and RBI from Brandon Raw. That one's grounded over to the second baseman, Doyle. Quick throw down to first, gets him. So Seth McWilliams makes quick work of RJ Fuhr. And Joba Farrell will step in. He had a base hit his last time up and eventually came around to score, in part due to the 2-run home run from Ken Blackstone.
And when he gets on, he's also dangerous on the base pads.
Farrell just batting 154 on the season. And that's going to be a pitch that's going to get away from Bud, so it's going to be 1-0 on Farrell. That one's going to get away from, or I'm sorry, that one's going to be outside, so it's going to be 2-0. The 2-0 pitch inside, 3-0. And Joba Farrell likes to crowd the plate a little bit there from the left batter's box. So that one's in there for a strike, hitting the inside corner, 3-1.
Which sometimes can make it very hard for a pitcher when a batter crowds the plate like that.
Well, I think that's what the purpose of that 3-0 pitch was, because if you notice, he's not standing quite as close now. So that one's going to be a ball. It's going to be a walk for Joba Farrell. Gets on for his second time today. Kent Blackstone, the man who hit the 2-run home run back in the 3rd inning, will step in with 1 out and 1 man on. Comes the first pitch to Blackstone. Now they're going to step off and look over at the first baseman, or the man on first, Joba Farrell. Keeping a close eye on Farrell because, like you said, Dan, he's got a lot of speed on the base paths, not afraid to steal. They're going to throw down to first, but Farrell's going to get back just ahead of the throw. That pitch is going to be away, 2-0.
The Unicorns do have some action in their bullpen. It's the lefty Tom Constad.
Tom Constant, we saw the last time these two teams played each other.
And definitely known for his high kick as well on the mound.
Yeah, he went an inning, and he went 1-2-3, striking out 2 of the batters he faced, and that other one popped right back to him at the mound, so he does quick work. Comes the 1-0 pitch, and they're going to go and try and steal second, and the throw down to second is not going to be in time as Joba Farrell gets in safely. So now it's going to be a runner in scoring position for Ken Blackstone. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runner at second, and a 4-2 deficit for the Westside Woolly Mammoths as they look to mount a comeback here. Comes the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be skied into foul territory in the left side. And into the patio out there by the bullpen. 1-2 now on him. If Blackstone manages to reach here, Ian Yetzko's due up. He has yet to register a plate appearance, despite the fact that he has yet to register an at-bat, despite the fact that he has 2 plate appearances. He got hit by a pitch and he walked, as that one's going to be a strikeout looking for Kent Blackstone. So Ian Yetzko will come into bat now.
That would be McWilliams' 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, he's gotten all of those 3 men out swinging. And he's only allowed 1 base runner so far in this relief appearance. And they're getting out of him what they want. If he can get out of this inning and not let it earned run, he'll do a fantastic job, as that one's in there for a strike. 0-1. Because they're probably hoping for at least 2 innings out of him. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That'll be low and inside for a ball. 1-1. Seth McWilliams finally letting his first base runner of the ball game just moments ago. After he walked Jabba Farrell. Farrell proceeded to steal second after that. So runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Ian Yetzko and a chance to drive in a run and make this deficit 4-3. That one's going to be outside, but called a strike. 1-2, and the home plate umpire's strike zone today seems to be quite generous, especially on those outside corner. McWilliams is going to step off and reset as he can't find a pitch to agree on with Bud. Here comes the 1-2. Way outside, and it's going to come back to him, but Jabba Farrell is going to be able to advance nonetheless. It bounced off of Bud's shoulder into the air, and he caught it just outside the home plate circle. So now with a runner at third base, it will just take a base hit to drive in that run.
Farrell's been very active today on the base pads.
He came around to score already once today, looking to do it for a second time as the 2-2 pitch is in, and that's going to be in for a strikeout looking for Ian Yetzko. And that is the 4th strikeout for Seth McWilliams as he does good work in relief, and let's see if he comes back out in the 6th. Going to the bottom half of the 5th inning, we've played half a ball game here, and leading off will be Brandon Guilfoyle. Following him will be Clay Artizer, who already has an RBI in the ball game, and Mike Rampone, who has an RBI as well. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the fifth inning. 4-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns. Well, Guilfoyle will set the lead it off. He walked his last time up. First pitch he sees is going to be high for a ball, 1-0. Sean Kennedy out there for his fifth inning of work. Been tagged for 3 earned runs so far today. As that one's going to be hit to the shortstop, Smith, and a throw down to Palmer at first is going to get him. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the fifth inning for Sean Kennedy.
Designated hitter number 44, Clay Ardeezer. A big sports thrill for Clay was winning the first conference tournament championship for Georgia College in 2013. Clay is not a big fan of stakes, and he lives by the motto, everything happens for a reason.
Clay Ardeezer steps in. He had a sac fly RBI his last time up to extend his team's lead to 4-2, as that one's going to be in there for a strike. So far today, he is 0 for 1. His first time up, he hit into a double play. So a little bit of a mixed bag from him today so far, as he swings and foul tips that one into the netting. So 0-2 on him, quickly behind in the count. Clay Ardeezer comes into the day's ball game, Dan, hitting .273. He's been a very consistent player at the plate and has been hit well in clutch situations as well.
Yes, he has.
The 0-2 pitch comes in, and that's going to be in there for a strike, and he's going to strike out looking.
He couldn't believe it.
He knew that one was going to be a strike as he throws his head back in frustration. So now Mike Rampone will step in. He's got a strikeout and an RBI single so far today. Last time up was when he had that strikeout. Struck out in 3 straight pitches. So two quick outs here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. As he's going to check a swing on that one, but it's going to be a strike anyways. 0-1. Sean Kennedy looking to have himself his second 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. His first one since the first. As that one's in there for a ball, 1-1. Some action down there in the Westside Woolly Mammoths bullpen. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's going to be 1-2 on Rampone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4-2 lead for the Unicorns.
And it's the righty Josh Mason for the Mammoths, warming up in their bullpen.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball. 2-2. Count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And we saw Josh Mason the last time these two teams played each other. And he had a good appearance in relief as well. He went 1 1/3 innings pitched with 1 hit, no runs, and 2 strikeouts with a walk. So he did a good job, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in this game soon, as that one's hit into right field, and Abbott's underneath it to make the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Sean Kennedy is going to send it to the top of the 6th inning. Unicorns still lead it, however, 4-2, and leading off for the Mammoths in the 6th inning will be the right fielder Alex Abbott, the man who made that catch just now. Following him will be the first baseman Palmer and the shortstop Jeff Smith. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 6th inning.
And guess what,
where-
Brian? We have a new pitcher.
Yeah, Tom Constant is on the mound after Seth McWilliams does fantastic in relief. He goes about 37 pitches. That one's going to be grounded over to the second baseman, leaping catch to make the play. And he's going to throw it down to first and get him just by a couple steps. So 1 up, 1 down. Only took 1 pitch for Constant to retire his first batter. So, like I was saying, Seth McWilliams went 2 1/3 innings with no hits and no runs, a walk and 4 strikeouts. So fantastic, only allowing 1 runner on in his entire relief appearance. Tom Constant trying to replicate that here, getting a quick out there. So, I mean, you got exactly what you needed out of Seth McWilliams.
Yes.
Donnie Murray left the game early. That one's in for a strike, 0-1 on Riley Palmer. Johnny Murray left early because of his blister, and you're thinking, oh crap, our starter's gone. What are we going to do now? Well, you go to Seth McWilliams, who
Did a
does
great job.
just fantastic in relief and really set his team up in a good position here in the 6th inning. So it's 1-1 now on Palmer.
Telling you, this Utica Unicorns bullpen has just been fantastic this season.
That one's going to be high for a ball. Yeah, like we mentioned last time these two teams met, they only had to use 2 relievers. Donnie Murray, unlike today, was able to go 7 innings, and then they went to Tom Constant and Sean Gustin, who both had quick innings of work, as that one's grounded right up the middle. But it's going to be caught by Doyle, who's going to bumble with it, lose the ball. So it's going to be a error on Luke Doyle over there at second base. So Jeff Smith will step in now. He's 0 for 2 today. He's got a man on with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Four runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Unicorns, and 2 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors for the Mammoths.
Very close play there at first.
Yeah, they throw it on to first, and Riley Palmer's able to just barely beat the throw, slide back in. Comes the first pitch to Smith, and it's going to be inside for a ball, 1-0.
Anyways, about Tom Constant, he has 10 innings pitched, has 2 wins this season, only giving up 8 hits, has 6 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, ERA is 2.53, WHIP is 1.13.
And another throw down at first base, as they're being very careful with Riley Palmer on the base paths.
So another, like we've been saying, another fantastic reliever coming out of Unicorns bullpen.
See if he can continue his trend so far this season. Like you said, he only allows, in general, a little over 1 runner per inning, as that one swung on and missed by Jeff Smith, 1-1. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed again by Smith, 1-2.
Looks like he was swinging for the fences on that one.
Yeah, it looked like he saw something there he could drill out of the park. Ended up swinging underneath the ball on a pitch inside. Comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and 3 consecutive pitches that Jeff Smith swings on. He's going to go down on strikes. And it's going to be 2 outs now for the Westside Woolly Mammoths, as Kyle Hamner will step in with a runner at first base. Hamner's 0 for 2 today, grounded out to Balkin his first time up, and Doyle Guilfoyle his last time up. Comes the first pitch to Hamner. It's going to be inside for a ball, 1-0. Comes the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be inside again, 2-0.
That was way inside.
If I was Hamner, I'd be backing out of that strike zone. I'm surprised he can stand in there with those pitches coming so close to him. Comes the 2-0 pitch. It's going to be grounded over to the third baseman, Guilfoyle. throw down a first and get him. So it's going to be a quick inning of work for Tom Constant. And we're going to go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, where due up for the Unicorns is going to be the second baseman Luke Doyle, catcher Timothy Budd, and shortstop Brett Balkin. It's still a 4-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns, and we'll be back shortly with more. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half, or the bottom half, correction, of the 6th inning. It is a 4-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here. And Luke Doyle is about to lead it off.
We have a new pitcher this time for the Woolly Mammoths.
Yes, we do, Dan. And Sean Kennedy's day is done after 5 innings. So first pitch in for Doyle is going to be a ball, 1-0. He gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, only 3 of which were earned, though. He struck out 3. And it's going to be Josh Mason on the mound in relief here, as it's 1-1 now on Doyle. Doyle so far has grounded out to the first baseman twice already. The 1-1 pitch is going to be fouled in the glove of Kyle Hamner, so 1-2 now on Doyle.
Josh Mason has 6 innings pitched this season, has a win, has given up 6 hits, has 7 strikeouts, has given up 4 earned runs. His ERA is 5.68 and WHIP is 1.58.
And a swing and a miss and another strikeout for Josh Mason. As you said, he has 7 strikeouts coming in today on just 6 innings pitched. So his ERA is a little bit up there, Dan, but he tends to strike out a lot of batters, as we just saw there, as Luke Doyle goes down on strikes. So that's going to be the focus for him today as Tim Budd steps in. Tim Budd is 1 for 2 today. He reached on a base hit and an error. That one's going to be outside, or called a strike, 0-1. The umpire strikes out and is seemingly generous today. He's been very forgiving. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one's fouled in the netting, almost over the netting. 0-2. Josh Mason on the mound, wasting no time getting those balls out. Pitches out, and in case you're just tuning in, it's a 4-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns. They got the lead early off a Mike Rampone RBI single, as that one's flared into right field. Abbott's underneath it. It's going to be a quick 2 outs here for Josh Mason. So following that Mike Rampone's RBI single, the Mammoths retaliated with a 2-run home run from Kent Blackstone to take the lead. But then in the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Unicorns plated 3 runs, 2 sac fly RBIs, one from Galikowski and Artizer, and a base hit RBI for Brandon Raw gave them a 4-2 lead, and that's how it's been ever since. Brett Balkin will step in now. He's playing shortstop today. He is 2 for 3. He's got 2 base hits, one of which came from a bunt. That one is hit way high in the air into foul territory down the third base line. Going to get out of play, though, so it'll go 0-1 on him.
Balkan definitely known for that mustache of his.
Yeah, he's got a very, they call him the stash for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, self-explanatory. He's got a very thick mustache up there. He is batting very well in the season, coming into today batting .387. He's already got 2 more hits to add on to that, so his batting average is only going to go up as that one's inside for a ball, 1-1 now. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And what has really turned into a beautiful evening here at Jimmy John's Field. 1-1 pitch is high, 2-1.
Yeah, last night the clouds were looking a little bit weird.
There was not supposed to be as good of a night, but 2 days in a row as it has turned out to be, and it seems like the weather, the fates that be, have really been on our side as that one's in for a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here.
Let's hope the rest of the weekend is the same way.
I hope so too because we have some good matchups later in the weekend. Tomorrow's 7:05 start, and Sunday, of course, a 1:35 start. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be hit right up the middle, almost hitting Josh Mason, but through for a base hit. So with 2 outs, Brett Balkin reaches for his 3rd time today, and he's having himself quite a day over there.
Yeah, speaking of that 1:35 start, it's also Father's Day, so bring your fathers out to the ballpark.
And so now Chris Cruz will step in. He's got 2 hits of his own today. Both base hits for singles. Came around to score back in the 3rd as well. He's got a runner at first now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. His team currently leading 4-2. Comes the first pitch to him. Swung on and missed. A big rip there at a ball low. 0-1. Defense playing Chris Cruz straight up. No obvious changes. Here comes the 0-1. He's going to sky that one foul. 0-2 on him. Brett Balkin down there at first has some speed on the base paths. He started to go, but as Chris Cruz hit that ball foul, he had to return back to first base.
And you can bet Mason will have a close eye on him
As
this
you
time.
saw just now, he looked back over to first base. The 0-2 pitch is outside for a ball, 1-2. Comes the 1-2 pitch, and Balkin's going as that ball is drilled into center field. And he's going to be caught on the run by Joba Farrell, so it's going to be a quick inning of work for Josh Mason. And so we've played 6 whole innings here at Jimmy John's Field in this match between the Unicorns and the Mammoths. And the Unicorns currently lead 4-2. So going to the top of the 7th inning, it's going to be Hagen Wilkie to lead it off for the Mammoths. Following him will be the left fielder R.J. Fuhr, and Jabba Farrell will be the 3rd man up. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 7th inning. Tom Constant returns to the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Seeing just 4 batters back in the 6th, and Hagen Wilkie's about to lead it off. He's playing DH today. He's struck out 2 times already, hoping not to complete the hat trick in that regard. Struck out looking and swinging both times today. The first pitch from Constant to him is skied in foul territory into the stands. 0-1 on him now.
And I really noticed about Hagen Wilkie, he's not very patient at the plate.
No, not so much today, as he struck out on 4 pitches the first time and 5 the second time. The 0-1 pitch is skied into right field, where Cruz is going to get it just shy of the warning track. So 1 up, 1 down for Tom Constant here in the top of the 7th inning.
Constant's done a pretty good job after coming in last inning.
Yeah, him and Seth McWilliams so far have really been keeping this game going. Donnie Murray unfortunately had to leave the game early thanks to a blister. Seth McWilliams came in relief 2 1/3 inning and really dominated, not allowing a single hit and striking out 4. And that one's in there for a strike. 0-1 on R.J. Fuhr. R.J. Fuhr grounding out both times today, once to Guilfoyle at 3rd and Doyle at 2nd. Tom Constant also has yet to give up a hit in relief, as that one's in there for a strike. 0-2. A runner reached back in the 6th inning thanks to an error. Comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's hit right back up the middle, but hit between the legs of Balkin. Looked like he was going to get it, but it took a strange hop on him.
Very weird play there, Brian.
So that one's going to be a hit for R.J. Fuhr, his first of the ball game.
Really thought he was going to get that one, but
Yeah, that one took an odd bounce between Balkin's legs. I don't know if he misplayed it or what, but it went between his legs and into the outfield. And they're going to register that as a base hit for R.J. Fuhr, probably much to his likings because he's only batting 80 on the season coming into the day. He could use that base hit. So Jabba Farrell will step in now. Farrell is 1 for 1 today. He has a base hit, came around to score, and a walk his last time up. Stole second when he was on base in the 5th. So 1 out, 1 man on here in the top of the 7th inning.
yeah, like you're saying, Brian, Farrell's been very active.
Swing and a miss there,
this
though.
evening.
As that one looks like it catches the inside of Bud's leg after foul tipped by Farrell.
Tony, these catchers get roughed up.
This kind of goes with the job, though. They wear the most padding out of anyone on the field for a reason. They have pitches coming at them at 90 plus mile an hour, 90 plus miles an hour. So you're gonna get dinged up. They have no real padding protecting the inside of the thighs. Comes the 0-1 pitch. It's going to be way inside, and that's going to allow R.J. Fuhr to advance to second on a wild pitch from Tom Constant. So now a running in scoring position for the Westside Woolly Mammoths with 1 out, and Jabba Farrell has a chance to plate home a run. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at second base. 4-2 lead for the Unicorns. 1-1 pitches inside, 2-1.
And like we mentioned, Farrell likes to crowd the plate.
Yeah, he's definitely not afraid to stand close to the plate. Seth McWilliams last time did his best to try and back him out with a couple pitches inside. Shows bunt on that one, bunts it right back to the mound, so they're going to throw down to first to get him. But that's going to advance R.J. Fuhr to third base. So Kent Blackstone will be up. He's got a 2-run home run today, back in the 3rd inning. That gave his team the lead at the time, but unfortunately the Mammoths were able to retaliate with 3 of their own in the bottom half of the 3rd.
Yeah, and that home run he hit barely just got out of here.
That one's low in the dirt, 1-0. Despite having that 2-run home run, Blackstone did strike out swinging his last time up. 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike, hitting the outside corner, 1-1. 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Comes the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be skied into foul territory. Guilfoyle is going to go into foul territory and make the catch, and that's going to end the inning. So the Mammoths threaten but don't score, and we've played at 6.5. Unicorns still lead at 4-2, however, as we go to the 7th inning stretch. When we come back from the 7th inning stretch, leading off for the Unicorns is going to be Brandon Raw, Taylor Galikowski, and Brandon Guilfoyle. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 7th inning where Brandon Raw is due up. His team currently leading 4-2. Raw so far today is 1 for 2.
My pick for the player of the game.
He's got an RBI today, Dan, as he plated home Chris Cruz back in the 3rd inning. As it's 0-1 after he swung and missed on that first offering from Josh Mason. It's another swing and a miss, 0-2 now. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Way outside, 1-2 now. One-two pitch is in. That one's going to be in the dirt, though. 2-2 now. Count is even. Brandon Ross showing some patience after swinging and missing at the first 2 pitches. This is the 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be inside. So after getting behind in the count 2-2, he looks at 3 straight balls, and that makes the count full now. Comes the 3-2. Swings and a miss for Brandon Raw, and he goes down on strikes. So Taylor Galikowski will step in. He's 1 for 2 with a base hit and a sac fly RBI today. Last time up, he grounded out to Yetsko at second.
Gradakowski once again from Fraser, Michigan.
Josh Mason on the mound yet again. As that one's going to be in the dirt for a ball, 1-0.
He's done a great job coming in.
Yeah, we've seen good appearances from all our relievers so far today, as that one swung on and missed. 87-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1 with 1 out here on Galikowski. We have a little bit of action down there in the Mammoths bullpen as well as the Unicorns. That one's skied foul, 1-2.
Yeah, it looks like the righty Corey Kimber getting loose for the Roy Mammoths.
That one's outside, 2-2 now on Galikowski. And you say Corey Kimber for the Mammoths?
Mm-hmm.
The 2-2 pitch. It's inside. It's going to back Galikowski out of there. Count is full for the second batter in a row now, 3-2. As the Tigers have a 10-2 lead here in the 5th inning against the Rays. And he's going to strike him out. 2 strikeouts to start. 2-3-2 counts, 2 strikeouts to start the 7th for Josh Mason and the Westside Woolly Mammoths against the Unicorns. So Brandon Guilfoyle will step in and try to break the trend of striking out here in the 7th inning. He is 0 for 2 today, reaching a fielder's choice in the 2nd, walked in the 3rd, and then grounded over to Smith, the shortstop, last time up in the 5th. First pitch to him. It's going to be swung on and missed. Big rip there. He swung with all his power. He thought he was going to hit that one out of the park. 0-1 on him. He's got 2 home runs this season. He's only batting .238. Seems like an all-or-nothing type swinger.
He wants that 3rd one, Brian.
Yeah, he looked like he thought he was going to get that one. So that one's going to be high and away. 1-1 now.
These guys are just beautiful here at the ballpark.
Yeah, a great orange tint to out the clouds because of the way the sun is setting. He's going to ground that one through the hole on the right side of the infield, so it's going to be a 2-out base hit for Brandon Guilfoyle. So with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning, Clay Artizer will step in. He is 0 for 2 today, hit into a double play in the 2nd, had a sac fly RBI in the 3rd, and then struck out looking last time up in the 5th. So he's looking to reach base for the first time today with 2 outs and a man on. Skies that one into foul territory, but it's going to get out of play. 0-1 on him. A 4-2 lead for the Unicorns here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Unicorns have 10 hits to the Mammoths 4. They beat up on Sean Kennedy today. As that one's going to be a ball low, 1-1. Kennedy goes 5 innings, giving up 3 earned runs. Comes the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be hit right to the shortstop Smith. He thought he had it, but it bounces out of his glove. So Artizer's going to reach safely on the play.
Looked like an easy lined out there, but
yeah, it was lined right to Smith. He got down on one knee and looked like he was about to catch it, but as he closed his glove, it bounced out. So for the first time today, Artizer reaches on an error. So now we have runners at 1st and 2nd for the Unicorns with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th from Mike Rampone. Rampone had a base hit for an RBI back in the 2nd. Looks to get another one. It's going to be a meeting at the mound between Hamner and Mason. Mason's striking out the first 2 batters he faced. Then Guilfoyle hit a base hit, and then just recently Artizer hit into an error. Shane McCaddy's going to come out to the mound, and I'm wondering if that's going to be it for Josh Mason or if they're just going to try and give the bullpen more time to warm up. Looks like it's going to just be a meeting.
We've seen quite a few errors from the Mammoths this evening.
Yeah, we've seen 3 from the Mammoths and 1 from the Unicorns. We're going to have a pinch hitter here.
And here comes Nico Lalio.
Yeah, so Mike Rampone is out, Nico Lolio is in.
The man that's known for his walk-offs.
Yeah, he hit a grand slam a couple weeks ago, and then hit a 2-run home run against the Hoppers just the other day to walk off. Unicorns gave up the lead in the top of the 9th, and then Lolio in a pinch hit situation, much like this, came in clutch batting .217, but has 4 home runs. He's definitely an all-or-nothing pitcher, as that one's low and away, 1-0 now on him.
It gives time Valio to stretch, too.
Lolio, I'm sure, is pretty cold, sitting on the bench most of the game. From Brownstown, Michigan, about a 45-minute drive from here. 1-0 pitch outside, 2-0. Two men on, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here comes the 2-0 pitch outside, 3-0. That one's not even close. Much like his shot up there on the board, he wears a smile pretty much 24/7. As that one is going to be a ball, and on 4 straight balls, Nico Lolio is going to be walked. So bases are going to be loaded now with 2 outs for the Utica Unicorns here in the bottom of the 7th. Luke Doyle will step in. He's 0 for 3 today. Chance to change that and possibly get a couple RBIs too. Struck out swinging his last time up, back just last inning. Josh Mason had a great appearance in relief up until just recently. He has 2 strikeouts. He went and got the first 4 guys out, or as that one's popped way high in the air, and Blackstone's going to be underneath it in the infield. He's going to make the catch. So the Unicorns will leave it loaded for
The second time
this game. They have a 4-2 lead, however, but they're probably still frustrated. They could have really put this game out of reach if they could have played at home a couple of these bases loaded innings. So we're going to go to the top of the 8th inning, where due up for the Mammoths is going to be the second baseman Ian Yetzko. Following him, the right fielder Alex Abbott, and the first baseman Riley Palmer. We'll be back shortly with more. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 8th inning. Ian Yetzko is going to lead it off here, and we're going to have a new pitcher on the mound. And
he's making his USPBL debut as well.
Yeah, as Tom Constant's day is done, Alex DeYonker is going to take over on the mound. DeYonker, like you just mentioned, Dan, is making a USPBL debut. Tom Constant, however, follows up McWilliams' successful relief appearance, goes 2 innings with just 1 hit, no walks and 1 strikeout, doing good work. And it's going to be a 1-0 count now on Yetzko as the first pitch is a ball. Comes the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be high, 2-0. It's a 4-2 ball game in favor of the Unicorns. So that one's going to be drilled down the right field line. Fair. And that might be extra bases for Ian Yetzko. And he's going to cruise into second base on a double. So with no outs and a man at second, Alex Abbott has a chance to cut down on this deficit. He's 1 for 3 today. He had himself a double back in the third inning, but most recently grounded out to Doyle. Abbott from California is a big fan of the Angels and Mike Trout. So not the start to Alex DeYonker probably wanted, giving up a double in his first matchup here at Jimmy John's Field. First pitch Abbott sees is a ball, 1-0. Comes the 1-0 pitch, swung and drilled foul.
DeYonker out of Livonia, Michigan.
1-1. Yeah, it seems like we've had a lot of Michigan additions lately, Dan, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Just add another one on the list as Gelikowski, Guilfoyle,
The list goes on and on.
Yeah, now DeYonker. It's good to see a lot of local players getting represented in this league, but we also have a lot of players from across the nation, as, like I just mentioned, Abbott here is from California, as that one's in for a ball, 2-1. Or Georgia. 2-1 pitch is grounded over the second baseman Doyle. He's going to make a quick throw down to first, and that's going to be the first out of the inning, but Ian Yetzko advances down to third base on the play. Riley Palmer's going to step in. He is 0 for 3 today. He reached on an error, however, back in the 6th inning. He's got a chance to get an RBI here with Yetzko down there at third base and 1 out. With the pinch hit for Rampone back in the top half of the inning, or bottom half of the 7th, Nico Lolio is now in first base, and Gelikowski has moved back in the left. Here comes the first pitch to Palmer. Outside for a ball, 1-0. It's 1-1 now on Palmer, as that last pitch was in for a strike. Men at third, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 8th as this team, the Mammoths, trail 4-2, and big swing there from Palmer. 1-2 now. One-two pitch is just outside for a ball. Count is even at 2 apiece. DeYonker's going to have to work some magic here to get out of this inning unscathed. With just 1 out and a runner at third, it's not going to take much to score him. Swing and a miss, and that might help as he strikes out Riley Palmer, his first strikeout here at the USPBL. And now Jeff Smith will step in with 2 outs. Last chance for the Mammoths here to drive in that run. Smith is 0 for 3 today. Struck out swinging his last time up back in the 6th inning. It's going to be a meeting at the mound. Jim Essia is going to jog out, and that's going to be it for DeYonker in his USPBL debut. He gives up a hit and gets 2 outs.
He's done his job. But, of course, gave up that hit, and now you have Yetzko at third.
It all depends on how the next reliever does.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that next reliever comes in and that inherited runner ends up scoring, it's going to be a stain on DeYonker's debut. But if this reliever comes in and gets him out, I'd say that's a pretty decent debut for him. 1 hit and then a strikeout.
It looks like Sean Guston will take the mound for the Unicorns.
Sean Guston pitched to the ninth last time these two teams faced off back in the 10th of June. He saw 4 batters. The first one reached on an error, flew out the next 2 to the center fielder, and then struck out Tyler McVicker to end the ball game. So these are all pitchers that the Mammoths have seen before, so maybe they can do some damage against them. Sean Guston, yet another strong reliever in the bullpen for the Utica Unicorns. He's got an ERA of 1.58 across 11 1/3 innings pitched. And Dan, he's only given up 8 hits. So he's doing a phenomenal job in relief, just like many of these other relievers. Seth McWilliams, Tom Constan, both have phenomenal ERAs. Donnie Murray obviously came in today with a 2.40 ERA and a whip of 1. Obviously he had blister issues, which he had an early exit because of. That blister is also part of the reason why he gave up a 2-run home run. Is really giving him trouble with his control, as he was missing outside a lot. So Jeff Smith will step in. First pitch you see is going to be a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Sean Guston was the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be in the dirt. 1-1.
Sean Guston's out of Stoneham, Massachusetts. To his college ball at Holy Cross. And there's one more player on the Unicorns that also is from Holy Cross. Can you guess who that is, Brian?
Donnie Murray.
Yes, sir.
As that one's going to be swung on and missed. 1-2. And the Unicorns are just 1 strike away from leaving that runner down there at third base.
I'm surprised you even got that one.
Honestly, I am too. You're really testing my trivia. We talked about it a couple times, but all that hockey play in my long-term memory is shot, and that one's going to be just a little bit low for a ball. 2-2. Comes the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be low again. Count is going to go full at 3-2. Jeff Smith, being Steve's pick for player of the game, has gone 0-3 so far today.
So am I winning?
So far, yes, because my guy only went 2 2/3. Steve is at 0-3, and your guy has an RBI today. As that one's going to be outside, lost him. So Jeff Smith reaches for the first time today on a 2-out walk in the top of the 8th. Kyle Hamner's going to step in. He's also 0-3 today. Grounded out all 3 times. Each time to a different pitcher. First pitch to Hamner is going to be in for a ball, 1-0. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Hamner at home plate would be the go-ahead run. Not much of a lead to speak of for Jeff Smith over there at first. Comes the 1-0 pitch. He's going to ground that one right back to the mound. Sean Guston's going to recover it and make the play at first, and he's going to get him out of the jam. So the Mammoths are going to leave runners at the corners, and it's still going to be a 4-2 lead for the Unicorns going to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Leading off for the Unicorns in the bottom half of the 8th will be the catcher Tim Budd. Following him, the shortstop Brett Balkin, and Chris Cruz, the right fielder. So we'll be back with more shortly. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 8th inning.
And guess what, Brian? We have another pitching change.
Yes, we do, as Josh Mason's day is done. Great job in relief after Sean Kennedy's bumpy start. He goes 2 innings pitched with 2 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts, no runs. So great job by him, and now Corey Kimber is going to take over on the mound. He's seen 6 innings so far with a 1.50 ERA.
And a 117 whip. Has only given up 3 hits and has 8 strikeouts.
And one thing that you definitely want to look out for with Corey Kimber is, man, does he have velocity on that fastball.
Yes, he does.
That first pitch to Tim Budd that missed for a ball, 95 miles an hour. I think he might be the hardest thrower in the USPBL at 95, as that one's going to be swung on. 94 miles an hour, 1-1.
Brian, he definitely brings the heat.
Yeah, he does, and he's not afraid to use it, as he'll use that more often than he will his other pitches. Comes the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be high for a ball, 2-1. That one's at 98 miles an hour.
Whoa.
Nearly breaking triple digits there. Too bad it missed high, but holy cow. Really reached back on that one.
Hamner's going to need some extra padding in his mitt.
I'm sure he's feeling that one, that's for sure. Comes the 2-1 pitch. 94 miles an hour. That one's going to be inside for a ball, 3-1. Nothing but fastballs out of him now. Comes the 3-1 pitch. That one's going to miss inside at 92. And he's going to walk Timothy Budd to lead off the inning. Brett Balkin will come and stand in now against Corey Kimber. Man on and no outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. His team leading 4-2. Brett Balkin's having himself quite a day. He's 3 for 4. All 3 base hits. The one in the 3rd inning was a bunt.
I'm telling you, Brian, it's the stash.
It's got to be. In the leadoff position, unfortunately, he doesn't get many opportunities for RBIs. He's only got 1 on the season with no home runs, but man, is he great at getting base hits and getting on base. I'd be really curious to see what his on-base percentage is, as that one's in for a strike, 0-1.
The luck of the stash.
Tim Budd now with a very big lead down there. He's not much of a base stealer. They're going to throw down a first anyways. Any win we had earlier in the game has mostly died off. It's become a really quiet evening. There's another throw down to first, nearly getting him.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful evening here at the ballpark. Definitely a packed house this evening as well.
The 1-0 pitch is 0-1 pitch is fouled in the netting. 0-2 now on Balkin. Yeah, Dan, the crowd, the stadium in general is just absolutely packed this evening. And that's just fantastic to see.
And they're going to get treated to fireworks after this ball game.
I think that's part of the lure. The fireworks afterwards, most of the fans stay for those, as they do a great job.
Yes, they do.
And to put on that kind of show every single week, man, it's something else.
Also, it was Meet the Unicorns night as well. If you arrived to the ballpark early, you got to meet the whole team.
Yeah, the league-leading Unicorns. You got to meet Taylor Galikowski and the crew. So that one's high for a ball, 1-2, on at 94 miles an hour.
And also Nico Lalio.
I think
Hard hitter.
Corey Kimber has thrown nothing but fastballs here to start.
I don't know. I can't really tell. He's throwing the heat, Brian. That's all I know. So much velocity from him that you don't know if he has other pitches.
The 1-2 pitch is going to be grounded up to the second baseman. This might be a double play. Balkin's is fast, and they're going to get it.
Beautiful double play.
So that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play that Balkin hits into, and that's going to be 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning for Chris Cruz. Chris Cruz is 2 for 4 today. Last time up, he drilled it to center field where Farrell got it. So the leadoff walk from Tim Budd is nixed after Brett Balkin hits into a double play. So now we got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, although the Unicorns do have the lead at 4-2. That pitch is going to be high, 1-0, 96 miles an hour, and he's in the upper 90s again. And Kimber can definitely throw with the best of them when it comes to velocity.
I know I wouldn't want to be at the plate with his heat.
I'd probably flinch, honestly.
The light has flashed before your eyes.
Comes the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be inside for a ball, 2-0. This reminds me of, I used to listen to the radio all the time, specifically sports talk, and they were talking about if you had like a million at-bats against like a stud pitcher in the league, like Clayton Kershaw, how many at-bats would it take for you to hit a home run, or if you could you hit any? And people were like, well, you have to factor in fatigue and stuff. And This is reminding me of this with how hard he throws. I don't know if any amateur could walk up to the plate and just hit a home run off him. Like, if you take fatigue out of it, I don't think I'd be able to hit a single home run off him. That was 95 miles an hour, 3-0, though, as it misses.
Couldn't agree with you more, Brian.
I think the only one among us who has a chance of even getting on base would be Steve, because he played college ball. But I don't even know about a home run for him. And that one's going to miss, be another walk for him. I say that, and Steve looks at me like, I don't know, I might have been able to.
You know, he always gives you that stare down.
I was just trying to get a reaction out of him. So now Brandon Raw will step in. He's 1 for 4 today. Had himself an RBI back in the 3rd on a base hit. Struck out swinging in his most recent attempt. He's got a runner at first base here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 outs, however. Here comes the first pitch. Jomi swings and a miss on a pitch way outside. Shaking his head at that one. Couldn't believe he went after that one. 0-1.
Come on, man. Right?
So it's 0-1 on Raw. He drills that one over to right field, but right at Abbott, who's going to make the play on the run and end the inning. So Corey Kimber comes in and gets 3 batters out, and we're going to go to the top of the 9th, and it's going to be last call for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. They currently trail at 4-2. Due up for the Mammoths in the bottom of the 9th, or top of the 9th, correction, is going to be their 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Hagen Wilkie, R.J. Fear, and Joba Farrell. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 9th inning. Hagen Wilkie stands in as his last call for the Mammoths. The first pitch to him is going to be a ball, 1-0. And I believe it's Sean Gustin still on the mound for the
Yes, it is,
Utica
Brian.
Unicorns. He's getting the decision to end it here. It sounds kind of gory when I say it like that. Sound misses outside 2-0. He's going to end it.
It's not over yet, Brian. You know that saying. It's not over till the fat lady starts singing, right?
You call me fat? You call me a
No.
lady?
I'm sorry.
Be 2-1 now. We're just joking around. That 2-1 pitch is drilled high in the air into right center field. Raw and Cruz are going to be underneath it. Cruz is going to make the play, and it's going to be 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 9th inning. Just 2 outs left for the Mammoths to get these 2 runs and tie the ball game. RJ Fuel will step in. He's 1 for 3 today. He had a base hit back in the 7th inning, his last plate appearance. That was that weird play where the ball bounced between the legs of Brett Balkin at short. He ruled it a base hit. He needs it too.
Yes, he does. Only batting.
Sometimes plays like,
.80.
you know what? Sometimes plays like that, Dan, are the plays that can,
Turn things around.
Yeah. Sometimes you need one to go your way. As that one's in for a strike 0-1. And I know that sometimes it takes a lucky balance. I mean, even in any other sport, I mean, my experience in hockey, it's the same thing. Like, sometimes you just get lucky one time, and it can turn the whole week around. You just start on a hot streak, because that one is down low for a ball, 1-1. So let's hope for RJ Fear's sake that is exactly what this is. That one's hit over the head of Gustin. The shortstop is going to get it, but not get there in time. And RJ Fear has himself an infield singer, so now he's got a multi-hit game.
Telling you, the man's got wheels.
So now he's doubled his hits this season already, just in today's game. So like I was saying, that wonky base hit he had back in the 7th might be exactly what he needed to turn this season around for himself. So Jabba Farrell will step in. He is 1 for 2. He had a base hit, came around to score. He walked and stole. And back in the 7th, he grounded out back to the mound.
I mean, I'm telling you, if the Mammoths were up in front, he could be the player of the game.
Possibly, as that one is outside 1-0.
I mean, it's not over yet.
I think the front runner for that would be Blackstone, though, with his 2-run home run. But
You
ooh,
could
and
be
that
right.
one's going to hit Trevor Farrell, and that's going to put runners at first and second with only 1 out. And Bud's going to come out and have a talk to him, try and calm him down.
Things are getting interesting here, Brian.
So Kent Blackstone, who hit a home run back in the 3rd inning, a 2-run shot, will come up here for his 5th at bat of the ball game. He is 1 for 4. Popped out in a foul territory to Guilfoyle's last time up down the 3rd base line. So runners at first and second with 1 out. The Mammoths currently trail it 4-2 in the top of the 9th inning. The go-ahead runner would be Kent Blackstone at home plate as the first pitch is in there for a strike at 82 miles an hour, an off-speed pitch.
After you were just saying, he did hit a homer in this game.
Let's see if he can do it again and give his team a lead here. That one's going to be down low for a ball, 1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike,
And
1 out.
And that home run barely just got out over there in
Yeah,
right field.
Cruz kept running back, and I wasn't sure if it was going to get over the wall, and it landed just before the hill over there in right field. Just barely getting over as the 1-1 pitch comes in. He's going to swing and hit that one through the 5.5 hole, and they're going to hold the runner at 3rd base. So bases are going to be loaded with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning.
Things are starting to rumble here for the Mammoths.
So Ian Yetzko will stand in with bases loaded and 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. And the Unicorns are trying not to choke again in the top of the 9th. They did so last weekend against the Hoppers. Thanks to heroics from Nico Lolio, though, they were able to win in a walk-off fashion. It's a song I haven't heard since the early 2000s, Blitzkrieg Pop in the background. That's a throwback right there.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's not Throwback Thursday. It's Friday, though.
Yesterday was Throwback Thursday. That one's outside for a ball, 1-0. Sean Gustin really having trouble with his command here in the 9th inning. He's trying to get a 4-out save here. So he came in to get the last out in the last inning, as that one's going to be on the outside corner, a strike, 1-1. Umpire with a generous strike zone today, calling those balls just outside strikes. That one's down low for a ball, 2-1.
I'm at the edge of my seat here, Brian. Are you?
It's definitely an interesting game, that's for sure, in the top of the 9th. The 2-1 pitch comes in, and that one's going to be drilled to center field straight away. Raw's going to get underneath it, and that's going to score at least 1 run and make it a 4-3 ball game with 2 outs. They're going to try and get him at third, but it's going to be misplayed by Guilfoyle, and it's going to end up in foul territory. Luckily, it was being Sean Gustin went behind third base and got that one in foul territory, or else that might have tied the ball game.
Now
So-
it gets interesting.
Ian Yetzko has himself an RBI sac fly, and it's a 4-3 ball game with runners at second and third base with 2 outs.
It's all up to Alex Abbott here. What will he do?
Alex Abbott is 1 for 4 today. He had a double back in the third, but has since grounded out 2 more times to Doyle. Alex Abbott has a chance to not only tie the ball game, but take the lead for the Mammoths here in the top of the 9th if he can get a bit deep enough base hit, as that one is fouled behind home plate.
Came right back at us, Brian.
0-1. Yeah, it really did. So this plate appearance right here could determine the outcome of the game, assuming the Unicorns don't have another bottom of the 9th comeback. So it's a 0-1 count with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. The Mammoths trail 4-3 with runners at second and third. That one's going to be flown almost exactly the same way back behind home plate, so 0-2. So the last strike now, Alex Abbott's down to the last one. So 0-2 count with 2 outs, men at second and third, trailing 4-3 at the top of the 9th inning. The Mammoths could tie the ball game, or they could go down and lose, depending on this next pitch. So now I'm on the edge of my seat, Dan.
I've been already, Brian.
And edge of your stool. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and that's going to end the ball
Beautiful
game.
pitch there by
Sean
Gustin.
Gustin gets himself into trouble, then gets himself out of trouble, and the Unicorns are going to win this one 4-3. A little worrying for the Unicorns here in the top of the 9th, but they're ultimately able to get it done. A 4-out save for Sean Gustin, and it's going to be a 4-3 lead for the 4-3 victory for the Utica Unicorns on this beautiful Friday evening ball game. We're going to tally up these final stats for you here, and when we come back, we'll give you our players and pictures of the game and tell you what's up for tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. Oh, and also Friday Night Fireworks, and we will be streaming those.
Yes, we will.
So stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the quick post-game chat. Unicorns topple the Mammoths here, 4-3. A little
It
bit of
was interesting there.
a little bit of sweating for the Unicorns in the top of the ninth. Sean Gustin gets the 4-out save, giving up 1 run in the top of the ninth. Ended up striking out Abbott to end the game with runners at second and third, and so the Unicorns end up winning the game. And Dan, who is your player of the game for this tonight's game?
I'm going to give it to Belkin. I think he did a really good job tonight.
He went 3 for 5, Dan. He had 3 base hits. Did not register an RBI, but that multi-hit game is just going to keep buffing his average. Came around to score the one time, and he's doing a great job in that leadoff
Yes, he
position. He's
has.
just getting on base like that's what he's supposed to
Telling
do.
you, it's the luck of the stash.
So I'm going to give my player of the game to Seth McWilliams. He went 2 1/3 innings pitched. No hits for him, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Phenomenal job by him. And he came in relief when he probably wasn't expecting it for Donnie Murray. Donnie Murray left after 2 2/3 innings because of a blister.
Yeah, it
So-
was unfortunate there, and hopefully he's okay. Obviously, we know what he can do. He's
Yeah.
very dominant when he's on the mound, and hopefully a quick recovery and comes back strong.
So a quick post-game recap for you here in case you missed the game. The base hit RBI from Mike Rampone in the first gave the Unicorns the lead 1-0. Then a 2-run shot from Kent Blackstone in the third gave them a 2-1 lead. But then the Unicorns replied right back in the bottom of the third. An RBI single from Brandon Raw and then 2 sac fly RBIs from Gelikowski and Artizer gave them the 4-2 lead. And then after a 1-out sac fly from Ian Yetzko made it 4-3, and that's how the game ended, 4-3.
Yeah, and guess what? My chosen player of the game was,
He did best out of any of the ones
Yeah.
we choose. He had RBI. He went 1 for 5, but an RBI single.
unfortunate for you, pick Murray. Unfortunate, it came out early.
Yeah.
And then he had Jeff Smith, Steve.
And so the winning pitcher today is going to be McWilliams.
Mhm.
Kennedy is going to be the losing pitcher, and the save is going to go to Sean Gustin.
Let me tell you, though, this Utica Unicorns bullpen is outstanding right now. I mean, when your starting pitcher comes out like Murray did, and then you rely on your bullpen to get it done, and they did.
Yeah. So, Dan, what is on the menu for tomorrow?
Oh, okay. We have the Unicorns back in action, and it's, of course, WCSX Classic Rock Saturday, which is every Saturday here at the ballpark. And we have the Unicorns taking on the Hoppers. That's going to be a great matchup. First pitch is at 7:05.
Unicorns back at it again against the Hoppers. Both those teams fighting for dominance
Yes,
in the
they
league.
are.
Both of them have phenomenal records so far to start.
Yep.
And that's going to be it from us here at Jimmy John's Field. Once
Wait,
again, a
yep.
4-3 lead and 4-3 victory for the Unicorns.
Yeah, and you know what? Since you all who couldn't come out to the ballpark tonight, we have a treat for you. We're going to live stream the fireworks for you all.
And it's going to end up being, it's going to start shortly in a few minutes,
Yes.
but we're going to sign off for you here and just leave the live stream up for you. So from Jimmy John's Field, Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
fireworks were spectacular.